All right, I hope everyone can see me and hear me. If you cannot see me or hear me, please put something in the comments to let us know. But otherwise, all right, I see some people. Okay, good. So let's get going. Yeah, so like Josie said, today we're going to talk about how to leverage your personal Facebook profile for business. So before we get into the topic, I just want to give you guys a little FYI about how to get the most out of your webinars. So grab coffee or tea or water if you're already over caffeinated like me, to prevent any problems with the audio or the video, shut down any programs that are running on your computer, especially things like Dropbox or Google Drive or Skype, anything like that. Grab a notepad if you like to take notes. But again, if you just want to kind of absorb everything and then watch the webinar later when it goes up on the WESC website, that is fine. And also, this is your learning time. This is time for you. So make sure to turn off the ringer on your phone, close your office door, things like that, to give yourself some time just for you to learn and develop your business. So I wanted to just give you a little FYI about a sneak peek. So stick around to the end. And I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to learn even more and get special time-limited bonus. So I'll tell you more about that when we get to the end of the webinar. So have you ever worried that you might do something on Facebook that you're not supposed to? So if this is you, go ahead and put a yes in the comments. Have you ever wondered if you might be driving your Facebook friends crazy with your posts? Comment totally if that is you. I think sometimes that is all of us. Have you ever wanted someone to give you a heads up about what the best practices are? Now, if that's you, go ahead and type me in the comments. So if you answered yes to any of those, you are in the right place, because that's what we are going to talk about today. So just one more little super quick intro about me. What I specialize in is social media coaching and personal instruction. So I focus on helping women entrepreneurs uncover their social media confidence, and I do that by equipping them with the skills, the tools, and the resources to be effective and productive on social media. So that is me in a nutshell. Now, this is what we're going to cover today. We're going to start off with a couple tiny little things that you shouldn't be doing with your Facebook profile. And then we're going to talk about how to get the most out of your business posts without getting in trouble with Facebook. We will then move on to promoting your business without annoying your friends, and then how to make your personal profile business ready or business friendly. So the very first thing, some things you shouldn't be doing. And I debated whether or not to put these in here, but they're fairly quick and they're fairly important. So I didn't want to leave them out. So let's look at those first. So some things you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be using your personal profile 100% for business or revenue generating activities. And in fact, I would even argue maybe 50%. So in essence, if you're using your personal profile to run your business or to make money, then you are violating Facebook's terms and conditions. And I'll show you the actual wording on that in a second. The next thing you shouldn't be doing, and it's not 100% related to personal profiles, but I had to throw it in because I've got you guys here, is that if you run Facebook contests, you have to stop running them where you're requiring people to like your page or share your post or tag a friend to be entered. That also violates Facebook terms and conditions and has some privacy issues going on there. So let's just look at those for a second. Now, this is tiny, so I hope you guys can read it. You can see on the screen here. In fact, I need to maximize this to read it. So Facebook says you will not use your personal timeline primarily for your own commercial gain and will use a Facebook page for such purposes. So if you are on Facebook and you're doing business on Facebook, but you haven't created a page, it's time to create a page. All right. And then the next kind of no I wanted to point out. So here's what Facebook says about promotions. Promotions may be administered on pages or within apps on Facebook. Personal timelines and friend connections must not be used to administer promotions. For example, share on your timeline to enter. So if you are on your Facebook page and you say you have to share this post to be entered, Facebook explicitly says don't do that. Also, don't share on your friend's timeline to get additional entries. Don't tag your friends in this post to enter. Those kinds of things are not permitted. So I know a lot of people don't know about those things because we don't read the terms and conditions because it's boring fine print. Sometimes it's really hard to understand. So that's why I wanted to point those things out. And if you are wondering why you see so many other people breaking those rules, it's probably because they haven't read the terms and conditions either. If they have read the terms and conditions and they're still breaking the rules, it means they don't care about the rules. And I won't get into my opinion on that, but I would have a problem kind of ethically running my business like that. So that's all the negative stuff out of the way. So before we get into kind of the fun, awesome things, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about any questions that you have in the comments. So my question box is like this small, and in order to read them, I have to get my face like this close to my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on answering any questions until we get to the end when we have kind of the Q&A section. So if you're worried about forgetting your question, go ahead and type it in the comments, and then I will answer it when we get to the end. So I'm not ignoring anyone in the comments. I'm just going to leave all the questions until the end. So let's keep going here. So the first thing, how to boost your business posts without getting in trouble with Facebook. So the first thing you want to do is if you have something business related to post, you should always post it on your page first. I see a lot of people posting to they either post to their personal profile and then they make another separate post to their business page, or they post to their personal profile and then share that to their business page. You need to do it the other way around. You need to post to your business page first. And then if it's something that you feel like your friends list, your friends and family on your personal account, if you feel like it's something that they would genuinely be interested in, then share it from your business page to your personal profile using the little share button. Here's the reason why you want to do it in that order. So your business page has statistics and analytics built into it. And so when you share stuff, when anyone shares posts from your business page, you get the benefit of those statistics. Your personal profile has no statistics related to it. So if you're sharing something from your personal profile to your business page, it's like you're getting no credit for that post. So if people are seeing that post, it's just the people who saw it on your page. You don't get any credit for the people who saw it on your personal profile. But if you switch it, you post on your page first, then share it to your personal profile. You get the credit for the people who saw it on your business page and on your personal profile. So that's important. That's something I see people doing it the wrong way around quite often. And then I've got here, occasionally share these posts to your personal profile. And the reason why I say occasionally is because for most of us, not every single business announcement or news or post that we have to put out there of interest to our personal Facebook friends. Now, if you have something really important going on or something really time sensitive, then share it. But don't share every single post. I see some people doing that as well. And so I'm seeing their posts double every single time. That gets a little bit into the second section we're going to talk about. But definitely pick and choose what you're sharing onto your personal profile. And I also note that you should share it, I say hours or days later. It kind of depends on what you're posting about. But here's the thing, if you put something on your business page and then immediately share it to your personal profile, it shows up as one story in the Facebook news feed. And so sometimes you'll see things like, this link was shared twice on Facebook, and then it shows your page and then your profile. So really, it's only showing up once in the news feed, even though you've shared it multiple times. So you can kind of get a little more traction out of those posts by leaving some lag time in between so that they show up in the news feed separately, because the chances are then that you're going to get different eyes, new eyes on your posts. And even if somebody sees it twice, if it's far enough apart, maybe it didn't catch their eye the first time, but it does the second time, and they're not seeing it back to back. Okay, so that is kind of how to get the most out of your business posts in terms of using your personal profile to promote them. So that's the first part. The next part, I wanted to remember how I was talking about getting the benefit of stats when you post to your page first versus your personal profile. So this is the proof behind that. So you can see here on this post, I went and grabbed a post from my page. And so this was posted to my business page, and then I shared it to my personal profile because I thought some of my friends might find this interesting. And you can see here that I'm getting the benefit of the stats of the people who interacted with that post on my personal profile and on other people's personal profiles. And that's what share column is here that I've circled in red. So when I shared it to my personal page, and in fact, then 3 other people shared this post as well, then I got, you can see on the original post, I got 23 likes, but then I got 1 like on one of those shared posts, and I got 1 comment on one of those shared posts. And in fact, one of those shared posts was unshared, and I'm getting the benefit of those stats. And so anything you can do to improve the stats on your page is going to give you an advantage on Facebook. So I just wanted to make sure that was crystal clear for all of you guys. So what is next? Next is, this is kind of a big one. And being afraid of annoying your friends list is something that not 100% of my clients talk to me about, but the vast majority talk to me about. And usually people are either so worried about annoying their friends that they don't post anything, they don't do anything, or they're at the other end of the spectrum and they're so excited and they think that absolutely every single person on the planet needs what they're selling. And so they're just a promotional machine, and then they run the risk of annoying their friends. So don't be that friend. So here's some tips around this. So the first thing you want to kind of be aware of is you shouldn't friending people on Facebook for the sole purpose of being able to access them easier than if they weren't your Facebook friend. And so that includes things like being able to send them messages that don't go into that kind of other/spam message box on Facebook, so that you can invite them to your pages, invite them to your events, invite them to your groups. If that is your sole purpose, then don't click that add friend button. And I kind of equate this to taking someone out for coffee. So you've invited this person out for coffee, and then you talk about yourself or your business the entire time. You don't ask them any questions about themselves. They can't get a word in edgewise. So it's going to be obvious to that person that you didn't take them out to coffee because you wanted to get to know them or wanted to start a relationship or create a connection. You just wanted their attention or their money or their email or whatever it is that you're looking for. So don't be that networker. The next thing is that when you do invite friends to your pages and events, make sure that you're actually going through all of those names and honestly only invite people who you actually think would be interested in it. I know some people just go through and they just click everyone's name, and you're gonna end up annoying the people who have no interest in your business or have no need for your business. So for example, I have a lot of friends on the page, like personally that I'm friends with, who are business owners or entrepreneurs. And then I also have a lot who aren't. So when I have some sort of kind of business event or training or thing like this, I will go through my list and invite people who are business owners or who do marketing for a company or things like that. My other friends who just have 9-to-5 jobs and have absolutely nothing to do with social media or marketing, I'm not inviting them because I know I'm just going to annoy them and they don't need what I have to offer right now. So make sure you are kind of intentional when you're doing those things. Then the next thing, I wanted to make a note about adding your friends to groups. So this kind of used to be a real big pet peeve of people where you could add all your friends to a group and they would just automatically be added and they would start receiving posts and notifications and things like that. Now, Facebook has changed the way that works. So when someone adds you to a group or you add someone to a group, they get a notification that they've been invited to a group and then they actually have to accept it before they start getting any posts or notifications. So Facebook has listened to all the people who said, okay, that's really annoying that people can just add me to groups. But a lot of people don't know that Facebook has updated this functionality. So if you are going to add a friend to a group, for now, I would still recommend that you either ask them or give them a heads up, just so that when they see that notice come through on Facebook that says so-and-so has invited you to this group, they're not just like, well, that sounds like spam, or oh, they just want to increase the number of people in their group so it looks popular. Actually reach out and tell them, I think you'd find this interesting and I would like to add you. So if you click accept, you'll be in, but if not, no worries. So just kind of a note about groups there. The next thing, which I already kind of mentioned, don't share every single business post on your personal timeline. And again, because friends, a lot of your friends want to support your business, and so they're friends with you on Facebook, but they've also liked your business page. And so when you share every single post, they're all seeing everything twice, and that gets a tiny bit annoying. I gotta be honest. So again, just share the things that are most important or might be most relevant to your friends. Okay, and the very last thing I've got here, when you do share, take a minute to say why you're sharing that information. Don't just hit the share and post, or don't copy and paste what you put in the original post and then put that in your post that you're putting on your personal profile. Actually take a second to tell people why you're putting this on your personal profile. If you don't do that, it's a tiny bit lazy. I know we're really, really crunched for time, and so it's hard to find those few extra seconds. But if you just say something as simple like, hey, some of you guys might find this interesting and I didn't want anyone to miss it. Just something like that. Like if you were handing your friend a pamphlet, you wouldn't just hand it to them and walk away, right? You would hand it to them and say, hey, this might be really awesome, check it out. So think of it in those terms. And then it'll be a lot easier for you to think of something to post when you're sharing your stuff from your page to your personal profile. So that is that section done. So let's move on to making your personal profile business ready. And I'm going to pause for a drink break. And look how my cup matches the color of my slides. That's so awesome. All right. So Facebook is continually tweaking, updating both Facebook pages and our personal profiles. And often they'll add features and there isn't a big announcement about it. Or if there is an announcement about it, it's kind of kept within a small like developer community. And it often happens that you're just on your page or your profile and you're kind of clicking around and you suddenly realize something's different. There's a new feature, things like that. And so this is what's happened with a lot of the personal profiles. They added this, what they call an intro section. So that's what we're gonna get into. But before I talk about the intro section, I wanted to talk about profile photos and cover photos because that's what people are going to see first, right? When they either go to your profile or they're hovering over your name to preview your profile. So let's start off with profile photo. So this is what is going to show up in groups, in Facebook groups, when you're networking. So if you're in a lot of Facebook groups and you're networking, people can see your profile photo if you didn't already realize that. This is also what's going to show up if you link your personal profile to your Facebook page, because you can do that. So you want to make sure that it's a nice photo. And when I say nice photo, it doesn't have to be a professional photo, but you do want it to be something that if somebody did take that photo and put it, say, in an article and post it online, you wouldn't be embarrassed to have that photo out there. So it doesn't have to be professional, but make sure it's a nice photo that you like. Okay? And make sure it is a headshot because if it is a long shot, people won't be able to recognize you from your profile photo. And so that's important. That's important on all social media. Just a little extra bonus tip about that. The other thing you can do with your profile photo, which I don't know if everyone realizes, is that when you click on your profile photo or if anyone else clicks on it, it opens up kind of like a real post. And there is room there to add text and links and tags. So if you want to put something business related in there, you can do that. You just hit that, there's a little edit button and you can put whatever you want in there. Similar to your cover photo. So your cover image, this also shows up when people kind of hover over your name and get your profile to pop up. But it doesn't get as much, I guess, face time as your profile photo does. So your cover photo, it's up to you, I guess, how businessy you want to be. Is businessy a word? I've seen people, go full out 100% business promotion on their cover photo. I've seen people who just leave it blank, don't leave it blank, put something in there. And then I've seen people just use it for personal photos. So it's up to you. Now, my preference is not to be overly promotional with my cover photo, but remember, your cover photo, you can change it. So if you have something business related coming up, some sort of event or special promotion, you could change your cover photo to be about that. And then make sure to add business information in the description of the photo, because just like your profile photo, people can click on that image and it opens up into a real post. And so you can add a description about what you're promoting, a link to find it, you can tag people if it's relevant. So you can do all of those things. And then once your promotion or event is over, you can change it back to something personal. Totally up to you, right? So that is the photos on your profile. So now let's get into the actual intro section. So this is the stuff that shows up underneath your profile photo when people go to your account, your personal account. So you want to make sure that this is stuff that, this is public information, by the way. So even people who aren't friends with you will be able to see this stuff. So some of this stuff is public by default and you can't change it. Some of the info you can adjust the privacy settings to be either public or friends only. So you'll have to decide how much information you want to be showing to the public. So there's a little intro section where you have the opportunity, I think it's about 100 characters. So you have to be really succinct in there. And if you have like a vision statement or a mission statement or something like that, this is a really good place to put it because it's the first thing that pops up. So then under that, this is your workplaces. So you want to make sure you put your business in here because you can link it right to your page, your Facebook business page. And the link you can see on the image, they're in blue. And so those are links going to those Facebook pages. So you can see here I've got some of the places that I write for and my own business, the page I manage, a previous business. So you can put as many things in here as you want. And then choose the workplaces. You can actually choose if you want them to be public or friends only or private. But of course, it makes sense to have all your current business things be completely public. Okay. Then right under that, there's a little section called featured photos. And you can add up to 5 featured photos that showcase you in a way that makes sense for your business. So I've got, this was actually at a WESC event. We were doing a Sweet Success panel. So I had that photo in there because it's business related, right? And the thing with these photos is that they are photos that are already uploaded to your Facebook profile. So you can't go in and upload photos here. They're pre-existing photos. But one of the really nice things is that when you click on these photos, like all the other photos that are on your Facebook profile, again, you can add a description to them. You can tag other businesses, other people, put links in, whatever you want to do. So if someone does happen to click on this photo, they can find out more about either you, your business, or what was happening in the photo. So definitely take advantage of that featured photo section. Then, underneath the featured photo, you have a place to add a bunch of links. So you want to add links to any other important online accounts. And Facebook does have a kind of built-in place to put social media links. And so you can see there it even pulls in some of the logos for them. Not for all of them, but for some of them. So you can see there I've got Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter. And then Facebook has another section just to add links, just regular links. And so and you can see there you've got my website. At this point when I did the screenshot for you guys, if you go to my profile now, it looks a little bit different. But I had another link to my Facebook page because I didn't want anyone to miss it, a link to my Facebook group. And you can put in, I don't actually know if there's a maximum number of links you can put in. You just have to be aware that because of the size of the column, Facebook is going to cut the links off like visually, the links still work, but you can't see the full link. So if people need to know what the full link says in order to understand what that page is, you might have to go create a short link. And so that is the end of the intro section. So that's all the stuff you can put up there. And so if you've set all this stuff to public and somebody comes to your profile, say you're in a Facebook group together and they're like, oh, I wonder what this person does. So they hover over your name and then they click through to your profile. All of the stuff in this intro section, they're going to see that even though you're not friends. And so then they can go through and find out about your business without having to talk to you some more or sending a friend request. They can just get right to your business way faster. So to sum up, in summary, your Facebook profile is a really valuable tool for networking and promoting your business, especially on Facebook groups and Facebook pages. But not valuable if you're always in everyone's face and they are unfollowing or unfriending you. And also keep in mind that Facebook has introduced a new feature. It's called Snooze. I don't know if anyone knows about this, because before, if you were getting annoyed by somebody posting in your newsfeed, you could unfollow or unfriend them. And that was the only choice. And that seemed a bit drastic. And so what Facebook did was introduced a snooze feature. So you can snooze people now where you won't see their posts for 30 days. And what I have noticed happening for myself is that, so I've snoozed people, and then at the end of the 30 days, Facebook says, do you want to keep snoozing or do you want to let those posts come back? And for a lot of people I snoozed, I didn't miss their posts at all. And so at that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to unfollow them completely. So that's why it's really important not to be in everyone's face. Don't push your stuff on people, because it's a really fast way to turn people off. Right? So that is the end of the information I have for you today. At the very beginning, I promised you kind of a sneak peek on something special. So remember I said I do social media coaching with personalized instruction. So I have a package, guys, and what I've done is I've created a discount code, a coupon code for everyone watching, and it is going to be valid until the end of February. So if you use the promo code WESCROCKS, you're going to get 10% off of this booking with me. And the link is right there. It's just the bit.ly/BLG coaching. And so what that is about is that you get 3 hours with me. We come up with a personalized plan that meets exactly what your specific needs are on social media. And it could be anything from I just need help getting my Facebook page up and running, all the way to I'm really good, but I can't seem to find enough time to post. How can I be more productive? How can I create content faster? All the way to I'm good, I don't know what to post about though, I need help with that. Or it could be I need some direction. How do I create graphics? How do I do videos? What do I talk about in my videos? How do I do Facebook Live? Kind of all across the board like that. And it doesn't just have to be Facebook, but I'm emphasizing Facebook because that's what I'm talking about today. So with that being said, I want to go back and look at all the questions that I missed while we were talking. So now that I can make my chat window bigger, let's go back here and find some questions. And while I'm looking for questions to answer, if anyone else has anything that they need clarified, go ahead and type in the comments or in the chat box. Sorry, I'm too used to doing Facebook Lives. All right. Okay. Barb, I am an offender to auto share my page content to my profile. Thanks for the reminder. You are an offender. Yeah. Yeah, if there is a way to just share only certain ones, definitely go ahead and do that. All right. Then the next question. Theodosia, I hope I'm saying that right. That's beautiful, by the way. Is it possible to invite people to an event that aren't your Facebook friend? No. You cannot invite non-Facebook friends to an event. Okay, and then Carla, what is the difference between a cover photo and a profile photo? Okay, so just let me go back to one of the slides here for a second. And okay, so you see my face here. That's your profile photo. So that's the little square one. And that's what shows up when you make a post or you post into a group. If you post onto someone's page, that little square, that's what kind of represents you visually all over Facebook. Then you can see it's cropped off, but the kind of bluey green thing behind the cover photo or behind the profile photo, sorry, that's part of my cover photo. So that's the thing that shows up like this. It's a big like rectangle picture. That is kind of at the top of your profile page. And so that gives you a lot more real estate. And so actually, I'll give you guys one tip since we're talking about cover photos and profile photos. Try not to change your profile photo a lot. If you're using your personal profile kind of to do businessy stuff or networking, don't change your profile photo a lot because people will not, honest to God, people will not be able to recognize you because they might associate you with the photo or the colors in the photo, but they don't remember your name. And so if you change your photo a lot, they will lose track of who you are. But if you keep your photo the same, you're all good. Make sure you find one that you like. The cover photo, however, doesn't show up in as many places and it's not really used to identify you. So your cover photo, you can feel free to change it way more often. Especially if, like I said, you have businessy things that are happening and you want to use your cover photo to promote them. Okay? Just a heads up, I guess, kind of, if you do always keep your cover photo some sort of like business information, use it as a marketing tool, and people come to your personal profile, they may think that you are all about business and that all of your personal posts are going to be business related. It might give that impression. So just be aware of that. Okay. I will keep scrolling to see if there are. Okay. And Carla had another question. Would you ever recommend just having a business Facebook page without a personal profile at all? You physically can't have a business page without a personal profile. So basically on Facebook, how it works is that you create an account. And by default, that account is your personal account. And then with that, you can create a page. But you can't just create a page without a personal account. You used to be able to. If someone has told you that's possible, it's because way, way, way back in Facebook history, you used to be able to create a business page without a personal profile, but you can't anymore. And for people who have created a page without a personal profile, because I know one person for sure who's a friend, it's caused her no end of grief. And basically what's going to happen is that she's just going to have to create a brand new one. So you have to have a personal profile. Okay. Oh, I have to scroll back up. You guys are quick. Okay, So Joe wants to know, of all the social media, what kinds of people generally view specific type of social media? Okay, so that's a big question. If you Google social media stats, you'll be able to find a lot of the basic demographics, like the user bases of all the major social media networks. Um, I can probably, off the top of my head, I can probably tell you some basic, like it would be gender and age. So Facebook, in terms of gender, is 50-50. Um, in terms of age, it's still the biggest user base. And you know how people are saying millennials are abandoning Facebook and stuff. They're not necessarily abandoning Facebook. They're just not using it to talk to their friends, but they're still on it because they're talking to their older parents and grandparents and things like that. So the user base for Facebook, the age is still everyone, but the most active user base is probably going to be, I'll say, the Gen Xers, right? Twitter tends to lean more towards female, but it's not a huge gap. In terms of age, again, Gen Xers, but it tends to be people, for some reason, this might be more America based, but people with higher incomes, like management level incomes. Then LinkedIn, of course, is almost all business, tends not to be employees. So again, LinkedIn tends to be kind of management, upper management, executive kind of people. And what am I missing? Instagram. Instagram trends more towards women than men, and typically urban women, so not so much rural use of Instagram in the countryside. We're missing out on all those beautiful sunsets. And then Pinterest, of course, is trends way towards women, although men are growing on the platform. And the age tends to be younger, say like between 20 and 40 right now. So that's just some super, super basic general stats. But if you want more in-depth stats, Google will definitely help you out there. All right. Then Marielle, what platform is best for a subscription-based community group, Facebook or Google Plus? That's actually something that I've thought about personally, and I chose Facebook. And the reason why I chose Facebook is just because more people are on Facebook personally, whereas the user base of Google Plus is not growing at all. And my gut tells me one day Google Plus as a social platform is going to disappear. Maybe Barb, who is maybe still watching and listening right now, would have some more insight on what she thinks is going to happen with Google Plus. But I wouldn't use Google Plus just because the future of Google Plus is a bit uncertain and less people are familiar with using their Google accounts. Like almost everyone has a Google account. Lots of people don't even realize that they have a Google Plus profile or that they can use it to chat with people. So that's why I would recommend Facebook. If you wanted to have some sort of like message board or thing like that that's outside of social media, there would be, I can't think of any other platforms off the top of my head. Of course, the advantage there is that if something happened to Facebook or Google Plus, you would still have your community. Because remember, we're just renting social media. Nothing there belongs to us. So if they implode, everything that we have on them implodes as well. Okay, what is next? Okay, Adele, where can I enter the intro? So if you just go to your profile and look under your profile photo, if you haven't ever entered an intro before, it'll just say add an intro, and then you just click on the plus button and start typing. If you have something in there, when you hover over it, a little edit button will show up and you can edit in there. And then she says, what do you think about doing lives to present events? I think it's a very good idea. It just depends on, you have to think about, is it a short event? Is it a long event? Is it just going to be broadcasting bits of the events? How much promotion do you have to do to get people to show up live? Or does it matter if other people are watching live with you? Do you care if they're watching later as opposed to having them all with you at the time? So you have to think about those things. Um, but in general, I think lives are perfect for events. Okay, Margaret, can you create two different business pages from one personal profile? Yes, you can create a million business pages from one personal profile. If you were crazy, you could create a million. But yeah, you can create two, no problem. Okay. Tammy wants to know, is it ever recommended to have more than one page? Oh, so um, it depends. It depends on why you would create the second page. So I'm assuming this comes across a lot in people who are doing a few different things. Um, okay, so I was talking to someone not that long ago. So she had a business and I think she was selling was purses. I can't remember. It was an MLM, but I can't remember the name of it. And she sold purses. And so she had a Facebook page. She actually had a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And then she started selling also a line of jewelry. And so she thought she had to create a separate Facebook page and create a separate group because it's a separate product. And we talked about it. And I said, so who do you have? Who are the people who are the fans on your purse page versus your jewelry page? And she goes, well, it's all the same people. So I'm like, so you're duplicating everything. So you have to think about it's not necessarily about what you're selling, what you're marketing. Think about who you're selling and who you're marketing to. So if you have two things that appeal to a different audience, that's a situation where you might think about creating separate accounts, like two different Facebook pages. But if they overlap quite a bit, don't do that. Don't create that extra work for yourself and keep everything on one page and then just kind of introduce the new product or the new service if it kind of fits under the general umbrella of your business. So for example, if I like say I don't do management anymore, but if I was going to introduce it as a service, I would probably just introduce it under my existing Facebook page. Because it's related to social media and I have kind of a mixture of people who want to do it themselves, and then also who want someone else to do it for them. If, however, I started selling, what's a good thing, you guys? If I wrote a fiction book about, I don't even know, I can't even think of anything. If I wrote like a young adult fantasy novel, I'm not going to market it under my Facebook page, right? I'm going to create a separate page because the audience is completely different. So that's the important thing to think about is who are the people who are going to be buying this thing. If they're quite different than the audience that you currently have, then you want to create a separate set of accounts. But if they overlap a lot, then don't make all that extra work for yourself. Okay. Marielle has another question. With the new changes on Facebook, is it still conducive to advertise on Facebook? Yes, in fact, wait, I better keep an eye on the time. We're coming up on noon or 1 o'clock. Sorry, it's noon for me. Yes, advertising on Facebook is probably now even more important than ever, like actual paid advertising. Just because of all the changes that are going on in the news feed and kind of penalties Facebook is introducing because of people abusing the news feed. So you cannot go wrong with Facebook ads as long as you know how to do them effectively. So I would always say ads are a good strategy, as long as you're not just clicking and throwing money at Facebook and going, let's see what happens. But if you're a bit strategic and you take some time to learn about what's most effective, then definitely go for it. Okay, what else do we have here? Barb, I only use G Plus for the search benefits. That's what I use it for too. Okay, what else do we have? Della, hi, you said earlier that I could add up to 5 photos with this in the intro section. Yes. So I'll find the slide that shows it. So you've got your profile photo, then under is intro, and then under that is links. Sorry, not links, workplaces. And then right under workplaces is where you can add your 5 photos. And again, if you've never added photos there should be a little space that says add photos and you click on the plus button. If there is a photo in there, you can just hover over and the edit button will pop up. Okay, I'll just go back to that last slide. Dorothy, have you done a webinar on Facebook advertising? If not, can you do one? I've done workshops on it. I can't remember if I've done a webinar. I've definitely written some blog posts on it. The problem with Facebook advertising with doing something like this that's instructional is that Facebook changes the interface so often that as soon as I do something, it's already out of date because they've changed a button or they've added a feature or something's in a different place. So that tends to be why I don't put out videos or really detailed blog posts or anything about Facebook ads, just because they go out of date so quickly. Okay. Cassandra, you missed it. Oh no. Yes, there is a replay. So I think I've reached the end of the questions, or maybe not. I'll give you guys another second to type if anyone wants to squeeze in a last minute question, because I've got 1 minute after the hour, but we had a little glitch at the beginning and we got started late, so I'll hang around for a couple extra minutes if you guys need me to. Okay. Tammy, what is the best way to word a post to get action? One that is shared from your business page to your personal page. So the short answer, the frustrating answer, the best way to word your post is to use the language that's going to attract your ideal clients. So that's a lot of marketing woo-woo. So if you can kind of figure out the language that appeals to your audience, and one way you could do that is just to go to your Facebook stats and see which posts perform the best. And if you can find some sort of similarity between, maybe it's like certain words, or maybe it's certain photos, or maybe it's topics, that can kind of help you pin that kind of stuff down. When you're sharing from your business page to your personal page, just make sure, like I said, explain to people why you think your family and friends might be interested in this businessy thing. And it could just be something as simple as, hey, I would love you guys to come on and support this. Or it could be, this might be interesting to some of you, and I just don't want anyone to miss out. Something like that. Okay. Carla, where are you based? Well, I am based in Regina. It's just I'm not in Saskatchewan right now. So that's all. That's why I was talking about a different time zone. So I am Saskatchewan based, just not today. Okay, Joe, I saw you at the Sweet Success event and appreciate your down to earth way of speaking. Thank you. That was an awesome night. It was a lot of fun. So Carla, I noticed at the bottom of your Facebook profile that you have a Facebook group. Yes. So the Facebook group is part of a membership community I have. It's free to join. So if anyone is interested in more info, more learning opportunities or things like that, you can join my Facebook group. You'll have to provide your email because I need everyone's email to be added. You'll get stuff in your email on a weekly basis, blog posts and things like tips and resources and things like that. So feel free to do that if you want. Okay. One more question from Tammy. In a new area, need to get followers. Best suggestion. Oh, okay. I do have a blog post about this. So if you're getting new followers, so like the basic thing, you invite your family and friends who might be interested. But again, if you're in a new place and you're a local business, you might not yet have a lot of friends and family locally. Then you can share your page with your friends and family, like by clicking the share button to share the page and telling people, hey, if you know people in this area, please invite them to my page or please share this page with them. That's some basic things you can do. You can run a Facebook ad to get likes on your page. I wouldn't recommend it because you can do a lot of other things for free to generate likes on your page. You can do networking in Facebook groups. A lot of groups have promo days where you can promote, your website, your social media profiles, and ask people to come and like your page or follow you if they're interested in what you're offering. So that's three quick things. And Cassandra, what is your Facebook page? So my Facebook page, like the link, facebook.com/BLGbusiness. But you won't be able to get to my group from there. I was going to type the link into my group, but I don't know. .com/groups. Hopefully that's the right link. Cross our fingers. But again, the link to the Facebook group too. If I've typed the wrong thing in there, if you go to my personal profile, there's a link to my Facebook group in there. But oddly enough, there is no link to my Facebook group on my business page. I won't get into that. All right, so just remember, if anyone wants any more one-on-one in-depth training, you do have that promo code that you can use to book. And if you use it before the end of February, you get 10% off, and we can kind of create that coaching and training plan for you, I'll help you learn whatever you need to know to be more effective on social media or more productive, or help you learn a certain platform or a certain tool you need to use. Whatever you need, I am here for you. All right, so now we are way over. I think people need to get back to work. So we should probably wrap it up. And thanks for all the questions. And thanks for being such an engaged audience.
I cut in on Brandy here. I'd just like to give a huge thank you to Brandy for taking the time to share her knowledge and expertise with us. It's very valuable. We definitely know how we can better use our personal profile to benefit our business, which is great. I'd also like to say thank you to everyone who was able to join us on this webinar. Our next upcoming webinar is titled, Is Incorporation Right for Your Business? And it is on March 21st, and this is presented by Miller Thompson LLP. So check your WESC emails or visit our website to register at any time. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great afternoon.